to the March on Washington now, and joining me right now is Jonathan Greenblatt, the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League and one of today's speakers. You're still there. Quite an event today, and your speech was very moving. One difference, Jonathan, between today's march and the one 60 years ago is the inclusion of other minority groups. You're representing the Anti-Defamation League. We saw speakers from Asian, Hispanic, Native American, LGBTQ groups. How important is it for all communities to gather as allies in an event like this?
Well, Lindsay, I almost feel like you answered your question in as much as it is crucial for all of our communities to come together. I am proud of the fact that we had reverends and rabbis up there today. We had imams and Sikhs up there today. We had a rich, diverse representation of what this country is all about. And, you know, I think about a few years ago, there was an insurrection that started on this mall. Today we had a resurrection of values like decency, humanity, and respect for all people, regardless of their race, their faith, their sexual orientation. And that coming together is what it takes in order to push this country forward and achieve the dream once and for all.
You said instead of cancel culture, we should have a council culture. Can you expand on that?
Right. Yeah, I mean, too often we allow our differences to divide us, when in fact what we need to do is, when we have differences, to work to bridge them and to come together. But I think so frequently in our society, when someone makes a mistake or has a slip of the tongue, we eject them rather than embrace them. We push them away rather than pull them in. So cancel culture, which can happen from both sides, we need to tamp down on that and amp up the council culture to educate, to enlighten, and therefore to empower us. Because again, Lindsay, the only way forward, in my opinion, is together.
How do you do that at a time where we have shrinking rights, more voting restrictions, anti-trans bills?
Yeah. These issues are hard, and we have got to ask our politicians to dig deep and evoke our better angels rather than our worst impulses. Look, at the end of the day, this march, as the Rev said, as Martin said, wasn't a commemoration, it is a continuation. And what we should realize is those hard-fought gains that people marched for, that people bled for, that people sacrificed their lives for 6 decades ago, we stand to lose if we don't roll up our sleeves and recommit ourselves to this fight. Because whether it's about voting rights, whether it's about our right to love who we want, to pray where we want, to identify how we want, again, those may be God-given rights, but they will be removed if we don't steel ourselves for the fight. And that requires Christians and Jews, blacks and whites, people of all persuasion, again, to dig deep, to double down, and to march forward. That's ultimately what it's about.
I'm curious what you thought about some of the themes of Yolanda Renee King's speech. Of course, the only grandchild of Martin Luther King Jr., only 15 years old. And what struck me is really the confluence of issues. It's not even just about civil rights anymore. She folded gun violence into the fold. She folded climate change into what she wants to see and trying to galvanize her generation. What stuck out to you?
Boy, Yolanda is an incredible young woman. I mean, I know her last name is King, but she is truly a queen. And what she did up there, as you said, threading together the issues, reminds us that we don't just have intersectional identities, we have intersectional challenges, which is why, again, we should put aside politics and focus on core principles. So, you know, look, we need to remind the world that white supremacists, radical extremists, hardened anti-Zionists, these are not who represents us, and we need to push back on the kind of prejudice, the kind of hate that these people espouse. And as Yolanda did today, so beautifully, so eloquently, in the tradition of Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King, dig in and move forward.
We certainly appreciate you staying, especially on a 90-degree day. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Appreciate your time.